Game 2 of our doubleheader at Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana for the Girls Flag Championships presented by the Indianapolis Colts and Gatorade. It's the Munster Mustangs and the Lawrence North Wildcats. Game 2, looking for a shot to play the winner of New Prairie and Warren Central. A pleasant morning, everyone. Alongside my broadcast partner and good friend, Kristen Hazley, I'm John Natali on behalf of our entire ISC Sports Network crew. We couldn't have asked for a better game in Game 1. Came down to the final play, actually, for the Harrison Raiders, just short on a touchdown grab, and they dropped their first game 20-14 against the Snyder Panthers, who will go on to play Penn in the semifinals. But we still got one more game, Kristen, and we've got ourselves a good one, the Munster Mustangs and the Lawrence North Wildcats.
Yeah, if it's half as exciting as our first game, John, I think we'll be in for a good one, and I completely expect it to be. These are two powerhouse teams, as is everyone here, but Lawrence North really coming off a nice hot streak, and it's going to be fun to see these two teams match up.
As high school girls flag football continues to grow, the Colts are continuing to support the startup and development of new programs through financial grants and equipment donations. To get your school involved, visit colts.com/girlsflag. The Munster Mustangs come in here, led by head coach Zach Slosser in their first year, 9-1-1 on the season. They have had 3 shutouts. And just like last game, Kristen, is that they don't really do a lot on offense, averaging 26 points, but defense always reigns supreme, and they only give up 9 points per game, and they defeated 21st Century and Hammond Morton in their sectionals. So what are we looking for from Munster?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. Defensively, they are sharp. Igbo Odelega, the senior, has 46 team polls so far on the season, and she's really kind of plays that safety spot a bit. She's going to cut those angles and track down any wide receivers. And then you look at also the linebacker, Elena DeVelos, 34 polls and a few interceptions for TDs. So she does great at reading the QB's eyes and closes those windows fast. So it's going to be a fun matchup.
The Colts football development team helps recognize, educate, and develop the youth and high school football environment throughout of all Indiana. To learn more about football development opportunities and events, visit colts.com/football development. The Lawrence North Wildcats now in their second year. Head coach Donnie Mims, Indiana's first ever flag coach of the week winner in 2024, coming to this one a 9-1 season record. And boy, did they take care of business in sectionals, beating North Central, Shortridge, and Ritter by a measly combined score of 110-13. So Wildcats do a little bit on both ends. Munster Mustangs ready to take care of business in the red uniforms. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the first half of football on the ISC Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? It's Zaire Franklin, Global Flag Ambassador and linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts. Girls flag football is officially an emerging sport in Indiana, but we need your help getting it to the next level. To make girls flag a sanctioned sport, we need 100 schools participating. Want to get your school involved? Visit colts.com/girlsflag.
Back at Grand Park, and there is head coach of the Lawrence North Wildcats. That's Donnie Mims. He's been around a long time, but he does an excellent job in whatever he does. Big staple in the Lawrence North hallways and their campus.
That's been another cool thing about, this sport coming to prominence is the crossover between kind of traditional football and you see this girls flag football team. We've had a few coaches actually come out of retirement because they want to coach this girls 7-on-7 flag football team after coaching high school boys for, their entire careers.
Another impressive thing, partner, is the roster size. It's really not 10, 11. We're getting 3, 4 subs off the – you've got basically 22 players that can go on both sides of the ball, and it's so encouraging to see as the Colts strive for that 100, in which they have 79 right now, offering that $10,000 incentive to all the teams that join to offset equipment costs and facility costs and all that kind of good stuff. So the Indianapolis Colts have done wonderful this season at 5-1 and just continue to shine within the community.
Absolutely. It's something great to bring, not only to Grand Park, home of just about every sport you can think of, add flag football in there, But in the state, I mean, we are kind of a football-hungry state if you think about it. Yeah, we've got some good college programs now that I use turn the corner a little bit.
They're doing pretty well.
But, it brings it localized. It's something different than just Friday Night Lights. And, as it expands, I would expect we'll have JV teams, we'll have varsity teams, potentially even freshman teams as it continues to grow and more girls decide to play.
Another really cool thing to see is the fan base of all these schools, some coming a lot further than others, but still showing up in force. And that's great to see. 24 minutes is on the clock. And we are set to get underway at Grand Park. Quarterfinal match number 2. Mustangs start with the football, handoff straight up the middle. And good grab there from Paris Page, a senior, for head coach Donnie Mims.
Yeah, right away, setting the tone. She's one of their captains as well, and she does a great job of just reading the eyes, and what a snag there. Just comes in from the backside.
Bella Jarrett on the carry. Brings up second down for the Mustangs. Some pressure. Ball to the outside and in and out of the hands. What a spin on that football.
A great throw there for Munster. Alessandra Tovar gets free, and it's just right out over the extended Lawrence North defender. She just cannot bring it in. But a great pass, and you saw the 2 pressure there by Lawrence North. Well done to get it out.
It's Amelia Ramirez spun that ball. There's a snap. Handoff to the far side. Tries to go straight up the middle. And there's going to be a jersey grab. Flag came out. Flag was grabbed by Rain Marks. But it's going to go against Lawrence North.
Yeah, and if you just watch the tackle there, she tries to get her on the flag. Gets more of the body at first. Bit of a wraparound tackle.
Just underway, game 2 of our doubleheader here. And it sounds like game 2 on the other side of the campus here, New Prairie and Warren Central. Ramirez fires over the middle. Too long, though, for Miranda Younger.
And Lawrence North, interestingly, every play has sent a rusher so far. It seems like they're going to keep the pressure on Jarrett and see what she can do. On Ramirez, and see if she can handle that pressure and get the ball out quick.
Ramirez and Jarrett in the backfield. Ramirez going to throw. Fires down to the outside. Has a wide open receiver. That was Jaslyn Sanchez on a big completion. And it's going to be first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and it's a great read here. She just sits, waits for the play to develop. She finds Sanchez out there, and she does a great job of beating her defender long. Good focus to bring it in, complete the catch, and move that team forward.
Mustangs on the move, coming up on the 21-minute mark in the first half. Ramirez, plenty of time. Here comes the blitz. Fires to the outside and off the fingertips of Miranda Younger.
And Miranda Younger, one of the preferred perimeter targets on those out and slant routes just because of her speed. For the most part, she's got 350 receiving yards with 4 touchdowns on the season.
Ramirez will go to work on second down. Bunch formation on the left. There's going to be a false start on Munster.
Just a little bit too excited to play that one.
They do. They want to get going. These girls are anxious and ready. As high school girls flag football continues to grow, the Colts are continuing to support the startup and development of new programs through financial grants and equipment donations. Get your school involved. Visit Colts.com/girlsflag. And there might be a personal foul here.
Yeah, we're going to have rough in the
There
passer.
is. Yep. Ramirez took a big hit.
Yeah, it looked like it was See Paris Page there, the defensive back, and one of the captains. She does a nice job of getting back there quickly, but obviously something you have to avoid in the backfield. If you're going to put the pressure on, you cannot go running into the quarterback like that.
Yeah, that arm came to the head of Ramirez. That'll move it up quite a bit. And the Mustangs continue to drive in their opening possession.
Yeah, they've looked really solid so far, finding the routes that they want. Obviously a few dropped passes, but a couple nice completions as well.
Here's Ramirez, rolls out to the right, fires down the right side, and off the fingertips again of Miranda Younger. They're close. Just haven't been able to make that connection yet. It'll be second down.
Yeah, and Younger just kind of gets turned around the wrong way there. Tough to see. She is being covered really well by Linnea Gaines as well for Lawrence North.
They'll huddle up. Mustangs in the red uniforms with the white trim. Lawrence North in the green and white trim. Here's Ramirez. Fires down the left side. Receiver out there. Got tangled up. There's going to be a flag. Younger got tangled up with Aaliyah Massey. Approaching the 18-minute mark. Lots of laundry on this opening drive.
And you see Lawrence North doesn't bring any pressure that time. Just kind of stays compact, trying to stay patient in the red zone area. Doesn't want to give up anything too big over the top.
Here's Ramirez. To the outside, complete, and 6. Ramirez to Jarrett. Mustangs are first on the board, 6-0.
Well done by Munster. That's a nice first drive they put together. You see the quarterback there, Ramirez, just does a nice job of finding Jarrett, and she finally gets one in there, backs it in for the TD. A great drive by Munster.
They're going to go for 2 here. It's 5 yards for 1, 10 for 2. And I think the arm of Ramirez signifies why we're doing this here. Here comes a blitz to the outside, has the wide receiver open, and before she can get to the goal line, the flag is grabbed. Nullifies the 2-point conversion, but the Mustangs strike first. Up 6-0.
That's a good job by Clancy there. She comes up from that DB position and makes the flag pull. It's a good job, again, by Ramirez to get that ball out quickly as the Lawrence North blitz came through.
Interested in bringing mental health awareness to your school? The Colts and Kicking the Stigma are amplifying Indiana high school sporting events dedicated to mental health awareness through the Mental Health Awareness Starter Pack program. The program aims to provide schools across the state with support to enhance our efforts in hosting mental health awareness nights. Head to kickingthestigma.org/get involved and learn more and submit your request today. Hand off to the right side. Breaking a few grabs, still on her feet. Trying to get to the outside, cuts on a dime. And out comes the whole belt. But not before a big gain on the play from Jada Wheat.
Our first look at the Lawrence North offense, and Jada Wheat snaps off that big one for 20. A nice change in directions there. Beats one defender and is able to just come through horizontally and find some room that way.
Partner, what I find amazing, we saw in our first game too, these student athletes are running double the yardage to get the yardage that they actually get, going east and west on this football field, trying to head south.
They'll take the space wherever they can.
Beard, jump ball, and complete to Abrielle Alexander. Beard threw that up for a jump ball, and Alexander able to come away with it.
Yeah, the senior doing a nice job there. Quarterback has to get rid of it. It's not exactly what the best thrown ball, but look at her elevate, beats the defender and pulls it from over behind. That's just well done by Lawrence North.
Evan Beard 32 touchdowns in the air. Handoff to the right side. And a flag grab there. Isabella Luna and Jada Wheat. Short gain on first down. Coming up on the 14-minute mark here in the first half. Mustangs up 6.
Go for a bunch formation here. All right. There.
And false start on Lawrence North. Our referee crew, the same crew as we had in game 1, has done an exceptional job this morning.
Yeah, I think they've done a really nice job. Not a lot has gotten by, and they've kept things in check.
Here's Beard. Fires long. And that's going to be a touchdown. I said 32 touchdowns, make it 33. Wildcats on the board.
It's a nice pass here. She drops back and just is patient. There she goes there. Nice little opening. No problem on the catch. Even able to basket catch it there in the end zone.
Jocelyn Ample, the freshman, able to bring that in. Here's Beard. Back of the end zone. Good for 2. Good execution from the Wildcats on their opening possession. Mustangs take it down the field on their first, score a touchdown. Missed the 2-point conversion. The Wildcats answer with 8 points of their own, find themselves up 2.
Yeah, great route. Kanaira Ridley does a great job on the extra point there. Beats all 3 defenders diagonally, and it's a beautiful ball thrown by Baird.
Colts Friday Night Football Tour, sponsored by Hellas Construction, celebrating Indiana high school football at games across the state each high school football season. At each tour stop, the Colts organization will bring interactive fan activities, including Colts inflatables, Friday Night Football Tour giveaways, games, and a chance to register to win Colts prizes, and appearance by the Colts cheerleaders, beginning 90 minutes before kickoff. To request at the Friday tour, visit your high school. Visit Colts.com/FNNT on the interception. Not quite, but defensive play by Lawrence North on the interception was Lanaya Gaines and puts the Wildcats in great field position.
Well done by Gaines. She reads the quarterback the whole time, gets into a little bit of an air battle here, but brings it down off of the head of Alexander Tovar and almost gets in before it's pulled off, but heck of an interception there, and then to stay in bounds as well. Impressive by the Wildcats.
That's just a great football play. Has nothing to do with flag football.
No.
I think any wide receiver / DB cornerback would want to see that one on SportsCenter, and that was a heck of an interception. Here's Beard. Back of the end zone, complete. 35 touchdowns. This one to Abrielle Alexander.
The senior, and that's the second time she's come up big. We saw her with a big gap play at first drive, and there she goes, just sneaking behind the coverage there. And again, Beard with the nice touch, just puts it far enough where the Munster defenders can't grab it, and that's a great turn of events there for Lawrence North.
2 quick scores from the Wildcats. We approach the 10:30 mark, and they're going to go for 2 again. Beard. Oh, look at this chicanery. And couldn't get it.
Whoa. It's a great play, but defensively Munster is up to it. Well done there.
Berlin Compton with speed to the outside to negate Beard getting in the end zone.
I love this little pitch. You think she's gone. Woo! Great angle. Comes over and has to be exact. Well done on the flagpole.
Colts, proud to be the presenting sponsor of the IHSAA Football Postseason Series, beginning on October 24th and concluding on November 29th at Lucas Oil Stadium. Coach with all participating teams, best of luck. That ball in and out of the hands of Alessandra Tovar. Seems to be Ramirez's favorite target so far.
Yeah, so far she's found her a couple times, and we're not really surprised to see Munster going to the air a lot. That's kind of where their big gains come from. They're not so much a running team as they are that big gain from passing.
Ramirez, and that ball intercepted off the fingertips of Gia Iatrides. And another turnover for the Wildcats.
It's a great interception again by the Wildcats, and bringing pressure, they just go ahead and rush. Ramirez there, and just right there to clean it up. Ayanna Clancy.
Can't really fault Ramirez on those throws, just off of deflections, and great plays from the Wildcat defense. Not easy balls to catch, but they've done it twice in a row.
No, both interceptions, she's put the ball in I would say proper spaces, pretty good spaces. They're not bad passes.
Beard gonna fire again, lofts it up. Look at the spin on that ball.
I love it. They're going right back to the end zone, taking one shot right away. And Beard almost finds her third touchdown of the afternoon.
That's good defense on that backside from Berlin Compton to knock that ball away. In and out of the hands of Jocelyn Ample. Second down. Beard by herself, and it's going to be a false start on the Wildcats. Colts Flag Football Leagues presented by Peyton Manning Children's Hospital. Offers an accessible and developmental opportunities for those wanting to learn the game of flag football. With over 20 locations across Indiana, visit colts.com/flag and join a league near you. Here's Beard. Plenty of time, gonna fire deep. Back of the end zone, complete.
Wow. Jada Wheat again. And what a perfect throw there by Heaven Beard. She drops back, has the time to let the receiver get free, and man, well done.
Heaven Beard having a heavenly performance here in the first half.
She is, and it's the touch, She knows right where to put it. Again, it's outside of the defender. It's somewhere only Wheat can get it. It's an impressive touch by Beard.
Beard just a freshman. That's something to look forward to for the next 3 years, right?
Absolutely.
Having a kid who can sling it for 3 scores in just about 18 minutes. We're not done yet. Lots of football to play. Wildcats up 14.
Yeah, and for a freshman, she's looked very composed, very in control. High snap there, but handles it easily.
Oh, stepped into that one. Basically quadruple covered on the play was Kanaira Ridley.
Not a lot of luck with the extra points so far for Lawrence North, but heck, as long as your defense is playing as well as they are, you're just going to keep getting the ball in the red zone.
And it's not as if their offense doesn't go at a rapid pace as well. So how do you beat that? What can Ramirez do here?
Yeah, what we saw in the first drive, she's going to try and find those chunk plays, vertical receivers, try and find an open route.
Oh, mishandle on the snap. The play is blown dead. And it'll be second down. Unfortunate incident for the Mustangs there.
Yeah, it's not going to make things any easier on Ramirez.
Here's Ramirez. Little pass over the middle. Eradicated immediately by Rain Marks. I'll bring up third down.
Saw Jada Weed on the pressure that time with the blitz, and that forces Ramirez to use that check down and keeps them from getting those long chunk plays that they like with the vertical routes.
The winner of this one will go on to the semifinals, take on the winner of New Prairie and Warren Central, happening right now behind us. There's a handoff to the near side. Not much there. As Aaliyah Massey came over. Another senior for Coach Donnie Mims.
Yeah, she does a nice job here. It's just really solid defense. You see her break down, lower her body as she approaches the runner, just making sure she can grab that flag fully.
11 seniors for head coach Donnie Mims and the Lawrence North Wildcats.
Coming into this game, Ramirez was, statistically probably the more productive quarterback, but we have seen just absolutely the opposite. And I would credit Lawrence North's defense as well as Beard just having a heck of a morning game, I should say.
And she's in the backfield with Jada Wheat. Hands it off to Wheat. Trying to get to the outside, evades the grab. Another grab on the spin move, and now she's got to reverse fields. Pretty decent gain on the play. O'Deleга.
Yeah, she does a nice job here changing directions with the spin. Just makes it tough to find the flag, and you're allowed to move your body to move your flag. You cannot shield it. You can't, tuck it in, make it harder to pull or anything like that, but the twists and turns are A-okay.
Here's Beard. Gonna fire down the middle, has a receiver there, but that ball intercepted. Berlin Compton able to step in front of that one, take it a good distance back on the opposite side of the half line. And it's first down for the Mustangs.
Compton does a great job there of just staying step for step with the receiver, reads Beard's eyes, and is able to get to the spot and the ball faster. Does a nice job of immediately returning, trying to get some extra yards.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning. Fires down the middle and off the hands again to Miranda Younger. Ramirez and Younger trying to make chemistry and just a tick off.
And something they really need to get going. That's a pair and a combination they've relied on through a lot of the season.
That's going to be the 2-minute warning. Calling all 5 to 14-year-olds, Colts Flag Football Leagues presented by Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital, offering accessible and developmental opportunities for those wanting to learn the game of flag football with over 20 locations across Indiana. Visit colts.com/flag to join a league near you. As we're moving along quite rapidly, and we're going to take a rapid break. 2 minutes left. Wildcats up 20-6, but the Mustangs on the move. You're watching it on the ISC Sports Network.
Give me 3. Why are you here?
Knowing that, the women's involvement and as well as Flag's involvement in the game that we love is going to continue to grow and grow.
Now there are 17 sanctioned states in high school girls flag, and then you add on that it's going to be an Olympic sport at the next Olympics, which is huge. I think it's a really exciting time to jump in and be at the forefront of this.
1, 2, 3.
Did you know that 1 of every 5 adults in the U.S. experience a mental health condition every year? It's important to know they are common and treatable. In the sports world, mental health conditions impact 10 players on your favorite NFL team, 5 players on your favorite Major League Baseball roster, and 1 player in every NBA starting lineup. Mental health affects all of us and is nothing to be ashamed of. It's important to understand. It's important to listen. It's important to talk about.
The Colts Sunday Night 7-on-7 series presented by Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics and brought to you in part by Gatorade and the Player Action Fund will be returning for 2026. High school tackle and flag football athletes will be able to continue fine-tuning their skills during the offseason. Check out Colts.com/SN7on7 to learn more about the program. 20-6. The Wildcats hold a 14-point advantage over the Mustangs of Munster. But, partner, I mean, we've seen it. This team seem to jump out to a big lead, but then it's a counterpunch by the team behind, and right now the Mustangs on the move with 2 to play in the first half.
Yeah, and Munster doing a nice job of hanging in this game. With the plays that Lawrence North has made, they could be up by a lot more. They've done a nice job defensively, Munster has, of limiting those extra point attempts, really keeping them just to those 20 points. But Munster driving here, you want to see them get something on the board before halftime.
It's been the play of Heaven Beard on the Wildcats side, throwing 3 touchdown passes already. But a big defensive play on the last series from Berlin Compton on the interception for the Mustangs. Has them in good field position, second down on the Wildcat side of the half line.
And both quarterbacks doing a nice job of sticking to the game plan. You know, 2 different styles of teams and 2 different styles of play. However, Ramirez is doing a nice job with the added pressure. Lawrence North is sending blitzes right and left at her, sometimes 1, sometimes 2. She's got to get rid of the ball quick, and she's done a nice job since those 2 interceptions of really trying to limit those mistakes.
Talking about what the Colts have influenced here, as they started back in 2023 with the Colts Girls High School Flag Football League with only 8 teams. In 2024, that would expand to 27. And this year, 79, only 21 away from that fabled 100, which would make it a sanctioned IHSAA sport, which the state would love to have. And it looks like it's got good momentum heading towards that. Mustangs, Ramirez, blitz coming, fires down the middle and incomplete. Was looking for Gia Iatreides and couldn't connect, third down.
Had good coverage by Clancy there. Gets her hands on the ball, unable to bring it in. And Gia Iatreides lucky to kind of get away. Yeah, almost walks away with an interception there.
Mustangs trying to get one more score before the half, make this a one-possession ball game. Ramirez over the middle and in and out of the hands. Bobbled by Gia Iatreides. And I'll bring up fourth down.
And Amelia Ramirez again doing a nice job of getting the ball out quickly. You saw the triple blitz that time from Lawrence North. Dumps the ball to her only option there. She needs those teammates to help her out a little bit. Get a couple catches and move the chains forward.
Ramirez in the gun. Need a big play here. Here comes a blitz. Ball fired up in the air. It's complete. Partner, I don't think I want to tell him that noisemakers aren't allowed at IHSAA events, but I'm not going to say anything. We'll just say
We'll
it
leave
on
it to
the
the
air
IHSAA.
casually.
It's just a vuvuzela.
It's a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
It makes me. And that's good information from our producer, Jordan Shue, inside the truck. It's not IHSAA yet. So it makes perfect sense.
Right.
Must have been a penalty on that play. Oh. And great grab there. Strong fingertips. Saw that last night in the Louisville versus Miami game. Yeah. But watch the strength of the grab here. Ball basically on the ground. Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive. Ball doesn't touch the ground until after her elbows are down. No bobble at all. You're right. It was just as clean as the Miami interception.
5 yards to go. They need to put it in the air here. Cannot run the football from 5 yards in. Under a minute. Here's Ramirez. Looking for receivers. Plenty of time. Someone trying to get open. Out to the far side. In and out of the hands. Ball a little high for Iatreides. And it's second down.
Yeah, Iatreides has really become the target this drive. Unfortunately, no other Munster players able to get open at that point. But if she goes a little deeper, gets up there just right through her fingers. It's a good look and great patience by Ramirez there at quarterback.
3 more downs to work with. 47 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Mustangs down 14. Ramirez. Oh, had her in the flat. Didn't throw it, though. Now she fires back of the end zone. And that ball intercepted. Or no, out of bounds. Out of bounds off the deflection.
Interesting play there. Had 2 receivers open in the flat, like you mentioned, John, and she hangs on to it, and then tries to find tries to find Ashira Smith in the back of the end zone, and it just bounces off of her hands.
Now they'll try it on 3rd down with 40 ticks left. Here's Ramirez. Plenty of time, surveying the field, looking for options. Now back of the end zone and incomplete. Iatredes again, couldn't connect there. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, they're obviously trying to find Iatredes in the end zone, but that's the second contested throw she's had to make into that area. And, they'll go for it here on 4th down, obviously, with 30 seconds left.
Here's Ramirez. They need this one. And she got it. It was Odaluga just sitting there in space. And the Mustangs answer.
That is big for the Mustangs. You see Ramirez, there was a great throw from her, right on time, right on target. Well done by Odaluga to bring it in, maintain it, and get the touchdown. That's big for Munster going into the half.
It is a 1-possession game now, but smartly going for 1. Because that would make it a 7-point contest heading into the half. Here's Ramirez. To the outside, off the fingertips, incomplete. But still a 1-possession game. The Mustangs almost go the whole distance of the field to put 6 points on the board. And it's 20-12 with the Wildcats having to work with 27 seconds.
It's a gritty drive from Munster. Nothing really going their way at the beginning of it. They keep grinding through it, find the final passes, and really just unfortunate on the PAT, but they needed that drive.
Ball up in the air, complete. And got the flag. And a penalty on the play.
Beard just putting another one on a silver platter.
Coach Zach Slosser not sure about the penalty. It looked like she got a lot of flag, but it's going to go against the Mustangs. So add a few more yards to that long pass play. And Wildcats cooking with just 19 left.
Yeah, she's in good coverage there. No need to make the contact. Go for the flag. I think she just gets a little bit too much with her body there, and they call the pass interference.
Coach Donnie Mims calls a timeout. Draw up a couple plays here. Partner take a couple shots into the end zone. 19 seconds left. That clock stops on an incomplete pass, so why not?
Well, especially, when you've got Heaven Beard at quarterback, we've seen 3, 4. Here's another one. Just right on a dime. This is the last play. See how open she is? And then there you just – their feet just get tangled up. It's a little light, I think.
That's okay. Yeah. We have the luxury of replay.
It's true.
Always.
Yes. As an emerging sport, the replay.
Yes.
Replay
It'll make it down.
The
red flag challenge will come out in a few years. Let's get it to actually the sanctioned event, and then we'll start bringing out the replay booths. Gives it 1st down to the Wildcats. 19 seconds left. Mustangs just scored, but the Wildcats trying to answer heading into the half.
And your Munster defense has to stand tall here. You want to limit, obviously, any scores, but especially with only 19 seconds left in the half.
Here's Beard. Gonna fire into the end zone. Back corner, overshot a receiver. Stops the clock with 14 seconds. It'll be second down.
I love that play call, though. You get a post corner and a corner route, and just right over. You see the crossing routes here. Defenders don't know which way to go. She almost has her beat there. Just that little hesitation by Nola Brown. A little bit lighter of a pass there. They're looking at a TD.
Second down. About 20 yards out. Beard, plenty of time. And a short pass just overshot a receiver. That was Jada Wheat coming across the middle. It'll be third down. 9 seconds left.
I almost think it's harder, those short passes, right, to find the touch, especially when you've been throwing the long ball like Beard has. She had her, potentially there's led her a little bit too far. But yeah, I think sometimes even those closer passes are harder to get a touch on.
Third down. Here's Beard. Lots of time. Patiently waiting. Good coverage by the Mustangs. Back of the end zone. And in and out of the hands. That was about as close as you were going to get it. She came down hard on that backside. That was Abrielle Alexander. And she'll take a second.
Holding call. Now with the time expired,
they should put some time back on the clock. Not sure how much, but you can't end the half on a defensive penalty.
Yeah, I think they called it pass interference in the end zone. From our angle, it's hard to tell if they were going straight up or not, but you felt like it was a jump ball. It seemed fairly clean. You see the coverage here. She has her for a second. Just her feet, I think she lands hard, obviously. And
I think it was more the fall than it was
the player.
The pressure. Selena DeVelos, who came over there, number 15. Looks like she played it cleanly, but it gives Wildcats one more chance. Here's Beard. Time has expired. Back of the end zone. And a touchdown. Split the defense. And with no time left on the clock in the first half, the Wildcats put 6 more on the board, 26-12.
It's Jada Wheat again. She has been the target receiver. A nice little move. How that ball gets through both Munster defenders. That's a heck of a score right there.
They will go for 2. So far unsuccessful. And that's a fumble, and that'll stop the play dead. Nonetheless, the Wildcats, in a short amount of time, put 6 more on the board. They counter the punch from the Mustangs. It's been a good first half. The Wildcats put up 26, Mustangs 12, 14-point advantage. We'll take a break. You're watching the Girls Flag Championships on the ISC Sports Network.
GSSI profile complete.
How much sweat are you willing to lose? Because when you do that, you can surpass the hype. You can inspire generation after generation. You can compete against anything. So how much are you willing to lose? That's how you know. Hey now, say now. How much you willing to win? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
You guys know who 99 is for the Colts? What's his name?
I want to be able to inspire our youths in the community, and just having those interactions with those kids, I mean, it could go a long way.
You want to tackle me? I might take all of you guys to try to take
Growing
me
up,
down.
we never had the opportunity to have a lot of professional athletes, still camps, and I just wanted to be able to pay it forward each and every year. And you consistently see some familiar faces from over the past 5 years that we've done this, and obviously having a bunch of my teammates come out and support and create those interactions for them as well. I mean, it's been amazing, and giving back to community is, that's what Mr. Ursay is, that, One thing that I really did love, flag football. I mean, that game continues to grow. But that's actually initially how I started playing football. And going into the 2028 Olympics, flag football is going to be one of the sports competing for a gold medal. So just seeing that part of the game grow, and it's amazing. It's amazing for football, and obviously for the kids that love playing football.
1, 2, 3, go!
Back on the campus of Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana for the Girls Flag Championships right here on the ISC Sports Network has the Lawrence North Wildcats up 14, 26-12 over the Munster Mustangs. John Natale alongside my broadcast partner Kristen Hazley. And Kristen, a little bit different than what we saw in the first game. It was Snyder and Harrison keeping it kind of close here, but Lawrence North, quick strike offense, 4 touchdown passes for Heaven Beard. She's having herself a heck of a ball game, and still one more half to go.
Yeah, Heaven Beard has been the difference for Lawrence North. She has just been on target with her long, deep passes as well as the handoffs to the middle and outside runs. That's what she's trying to find to get those yardage for her team.
Some other games going around the state of Indiana on college landscape is at depending on what happens tonight and happened last night down in Miami, is that Louisville took it to the Hurricanes, ranked number 2. So that means that the Hoosiers have a great chance if they beat the Spartans today, Michigan State, to move up to number 2 behind the Ohio State Buckeyes. And then Purdue is going to face the Northwestern Wildcats, who shockingly beat Penn State last week. And then a good one, always a good one, Notre Dame and USC around the state of Indiana.
I am excited for that one.
Great day of football.
Mm-hmm.
And the Indianapolis Colts, I believe they play tomorrow. They'll play L.A. and Justin Herbert and the Chargers, sitting at 5-1 atop the AFC South are the Colts. Nobody expected that. Nobody expected Daniel Jones to come in like he did and do the job that he's doing. And right now, it looks like Daniel Jones has some competition for quarterback of the month, because Heaven Beard has really been able to sling it here in the first half for the Wildcats of Lawrence North. Let's check some highlights. We got plenty of them. Take it, partner.
Yeah, let's take a look at this first half. Ramirez, the quarterback, nice job, finds the route runner. Again, you see her drop back very in controlled. There she finds her favorite target there, Bella Jarrett. And then we see Heaven Beard go at it here, finding all of her receivers back behind those lines. Both of these quarterbacks playing really solid. You see there the interception in the red zone by Lanaya Gaines, and just bouncing off the receiver's hands. They go ahead and finish it for the score. Munster comes back down the field. Another interception off the hands of the wide receiver. And then Beard goes back down. What a catch there by Jada Wheat. It's been her day this afternoon too. But then Munster came back with another interception and gave Ramirez another chance at points. That was a heck of a catch there by Gia Itradides. And then the last play there somehow sneaks through both Munster defenders.
That's the definition of the old cliche, threading the needle.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful throw in the end zone.
It was great. I mean, even from our angle, we were like on the arc path of that, and I thought for sure it was getting tipped, if not picked off, and whew, snuck right through there, John.
24 minutes to play. Wildcats start with a football on their half of the half line. And Munster really needs a stop. 5 receiver set. Here's Beard. Just a short toss. Partner, you said on cue. Beard has been slinging it all over the turf, and then just really a 7-yard throw. She left it short.
Yeah, and I think it's that second or third read that she maybe gets a little flustered with. You know, Munster isn't bringing a lot of blitz or pressure, but they're doing a great job of covering the receivers, which makes it tougher on Beard, obviously, to get a nicely timed, well-thrown ball out.
Trying to compare this to tackle football, how many illegal men downfield do you think would happen in flag football?
6. Everyone but the quarterback.
Beard looking to go long. Fires to the outside, receiver there, but ran into the back. That was Nola Brown, yep.
Yeah.
Great coverage back there.
Yeah, again, just trying to close in on the receiver. Nice job of getting her body in front. Jada Wheat still trying to get the target there. Just bullied off the ball a bit.
3rd down for the Wildcats. They were very aggressive on the offensive end in that first half. And the Mustangs trying to keep that to a minimum here in the second. They find themselves down 14. The little pitch. And the flag is grabbed. Minimal gain. That was Nola Brown again. And that's going to bring up 4th down.
Nola Brown doing a nice job. She's the second defender up to the ball with Jada Wheat, but just does a nice job. You see, misses the first one there, and she just stays low, grabs the flag, ends the play right there. Well done.
Just behind us, New Prairie and Warren Central. 25-13 from New Prairie. They was tied at 13s, and they just got the 2-point conversion, now 27-13. New Prairie in the lead. Here's Beard. You can tell she wants to throw it deep. And that ball in and out of the hands of Jada Wheat. And a turnover on downs for the Mustangs. It's exactly what they needed, and they have great field position to get their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, the Mustangs came out, did exactly what they wanted to do, stopped Lawrence North on the 4 downs, and now they've got the ball in great field position. Can they strike quickly and make this a 1-score game again?
The winner of this one will go on to face the winner of New Prairie and Warren Central. Those games will be at 4 o'clock. We have Snyder and Penn in the top bracket. Here's Ramirez. Back of the end zone. Great defensive recovery there from the Wildcats. That was Lanaya Gaines coming over.
Gaines already has 1 interception on the day and a couple broken up passes, and you see why there. Ramirez has her, but look at the length and the speed there of Gaines to just get back and find the tip.
2nd down. Here's Ramirez. Here comes the blitz. Gets rid of the football. That ball complete on the spin move. Still going. It's taken away by Rain Marks. Decent completion. They'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, they're able to find the receiver there. And it's Bella Jarrett, who typically is, one of their targeted receivers to try and get some yards after the catch. Nowhere to go there at that time, though.
1945. Here's Ramirez. Blitz comes. And on the sack. Give it to Sydney Harper.
And Sydney Harper, a name that we haven't said a lot today, but one of the big important players for Lawrence North coming into the game. She's really a tone setter on the back end and defensively in the red zone.
I think this record would go beyond Michael Strahan. She has over 50 sacks this season, 15 other tackles for loss. Incredible. Back of the end zone, has the open receiver, touchdown. And she celebrated a wee bit early, but was like, I got 6 more inches to go. Nonetheless, a touchdown for Jaslyn Sanchez from Ramirez. And the Mustangs get one back, 26-18.
Yeah, and it's great job by Ramirez to stand in the pocket. The pressure is coming. She gets it off, and then you see there Sanchez just like, oops, You know, and in her defense, there's a lot of lines on the field. So,
well, Paris Page gave up on it too.
Yeah, that's true.
26-18. Going for the 2-point conversion to make this a 6-point ball game. Ramirez, here comes the blitz. Back of the end zone, in and out of the hands of Jaslyn Sanchez.
Yeah, Munster fans wanting a pass interference call. The thing to the right, Ramirez had 2 open receivers, but she definitely wanted to find Sanchez there, and you could tell she didn't look anywhere else.
Still a 1-possession game. And Kristen, what has really helped the Mustangs in the situation is the inability of the Wildcats to convert on their conversions after the touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what's kept them in this game. And, you know, a couple great stands by Munster defensively and a couple drops by Lawrence North on the PATs. You know, it's definitely as you get down to these waning minutes, that becomes a factor.
Here's Beard trying to operate after the Mustangs touchdown. She's pointing downfield. She wants to go long. And that ball juggled, and there's going to be a foul. It was Jada Wheat who couldn't bring it in, but I think a little bit too much contact coming from that backside from Nola Brown.
Yeah, Nola Brown, we've said her name a few times on the defensive end. You know, not on purpose, trying to get to the ball. Obviously gets her with the body. She'll get the flag thrown, but nothing malicious there. Unfortunately, you do give up some yardage.
The IHSAA and Indianapolis Colts have teamed up to highlight the top high school officiating crews in Indiana this season. Congratulations to Mark Hopper's crew for being named the September Crew of the Month for Indiana. To learn more about IHSAA officiating, visit ihsaa.org/become-official. False start on the Wildcats. Move it back a little bit. Under 16:30 left in the second half. Another good one here at Grand Park for the Girls Flag Championships.
Yeah, this is really, I mean, we've seen so many turnovers and almost changes the momentum, I want to say, in this one. It's going to be fun to see how this ends up.
Beard fires long in the air, and there's going to be a penalty there. That's going to be on Bobby Udall. Never even looked at the ball.
Yeah, and that's tough. You know, Weedle's beat. She can't have her hands all over Jocelyn Ample, though. She's got to give her a chance. And like you said, didn't even turn around and look at the ball. Just knew it was coming based on the receiver.
That's going to be a first down. And after the penalties, Wildcats still quite a ways away from the half line, but have gotten some benefits from the laundry on the field.
Yeah, you know, and at this point, they're happy to waste as much time off the clock as they can.
Coming up on 15 minutes. Here's Beard. Little flare to the outside. Still on her feet. Still breaking tackles, finally. A flag pull. Elena DeVelos. But not before. Kenira Ridley, big gain on the opposite side of the half line for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and she does a nice job of sneaking past that first Munster defender, and a nice little change in direction there to dodge the second. Eventually caught, but that is a big gain and a much-needed gain for Lawrence North.
Wildcats on the move, 14:30. Here's Beard. She's going to fire deep into the end zone. Receiver out there, and a penalty flag.
Yeah, it's Compton that time coming across from the safety position, and you got to play the ball, John.
Looks like she fell over her feet, and that momentum, right? Oh, she hit the foot.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you know, she's pushing Evans out of the receiving position, and granted, maybe it's just, you know, a sloppy play, but either or, you've got to control your body going into that. I mean, these PIs have been killing Munster on this drive.
Kamari Evans back there, one of the few freshmen for head coach Donnie Mims and the Wildcats. Here's Beard, false start. was near side towards us. That was Evans. That'll push the ball backwards. Still first down. 13:30 left in the second half. Wildcats up 8. Here's Beard. Moves up in the pocket. Little flare over the middle. Has a receiver open. Still on her feet, finally. 22 grabs 12.
And Lawrence North is just doing a nice job of beating their defenders off the line. It looks like Munster's going a little bit man-to-man in that front there. And again, the receiver's just able to find that separation. Beard right on target with the touch that time, and she gets an extra 10 yards just with speed alone.
First down for the Wildcats. Here's Beard, fakes a handoff, fires to the right side, receiver open, and touchdown. The Wildcats answer quickly. Put another 6 on the board, and now up 16, 34-18.
And it's Priya Mims with the reception. I love this play. They start in the bunch formation. Wide receivers going everywhere, but that peel out route there by Mims. The Beard is able to find her there going wide, and I mean, you've got to use the whole width of the field, you know, at that point. And that's the advantage Lawrence North was able to find and use that time.
Now the Mustangs have to work quick. Under 12. Ramirez fires long. Aaliyah Massey was the intended receiver for the Wildcats, unfortunately. But she didn't get it.
Now, and you know, if I'm Ramirez right now, I've got to remember, I can't get it all back in one play, right? You don't want to give up any more turnovers at this point. You know, a 2-score game is manageable. I think if you start giving up the ball and you know, difficult field positions, you're kissing the game goodbye.
Here's Ramirez out into the flat. Receiver there. Short gain. That was Iatredes. Ramirez fakes the handoff. Good play action. Now fires into the flat. Has a receiver. And she's got some room to run. Past the half line. Still going. And not before a huge gain was Bella Jarrett. That's a connection that worked in the first half. And they go for a big one here on the opposite side of the half line.
They really needed to get Jarrett going. You know, if they can get Miranda Younger as well. Those are those two combinations that Ramirez has relied on time and time again, and it's good to see, you know, Jarrett starting to get going, but they're going to need to utilize them a lot more to get back into this game.
Mustangs trying to work quickly to get that touchdown back. Here's Ramirez. Far corner of the end zone. Too long. Trying to find Iatredes.
Yeah, Iatredes had some separation there. She's obviously who they're trying to find in these situations. Probably a little bit of the height advantage, but great routes run by a few people on the Munster sideline there. You can kind of almost see in the replay, they're about 3 wide receivers deep of the Lawrence North coverage.
Ramirez on the blitz. Has to fire over the middle quickly. And there's a flag on the play. Saw that one coming. That was Heaven Beard, who came in like a rocket and got too much body of the Mustangs and not enough football.
That would be something really, I think, difficult to train your body on, right? If you're used to playing, you know, quote-unquote football, regular tackle football, or even basketball, anything like that, you're used to going in with your body, not trying to grab a flag. So it's almost like you've got to break yourself down and be patient in a defensive stance to make those flag pulls.
Under 9 left in the second half. Mustangs trying to counter the pass touchdown from Lawrence North. Ramirez, here comes the blitz. Fires over the middle, back of the end zone. Incomplete. Big collision. Jaslyn Sanchez pops back up. Good to see that. And it'll be second down.
Good attempt by Sanchez there. She has him for a second. Bobbles it, unable to keep it. But you feel like Munster is just this close, just trying to grab it. Ramirez has got to go through all of her reads, check her options.
On the far side, and it's picked off. Six. Heaven Beard. This time on the defensive side of the football.
How about the game that Heaven Beard is having? Throwing for a couple TDs, throwing an interception and a pick six in there. And it's just the pressure that Lawrence North sends with that blitz. It forces Ramirez to get the ball out quickly. And Beard does a nice job of just reading her eyes and right off the hands. Well done by Heaven Beard.
40-piece on the board for the Lawrence North Wildcats. Up 22, going for 2. Here's Beard. Little pitch over the middle. Trying to get to the outside. Penalty on the play. Did she break the plane? No good. And it's going to be penalty on the Mustangs.
Yeah, there are a couple flags. I feel like there was an early one and then one a little later as she tried to get to the pylon. It's not a bad idea, though. I mean, when you've got Jada Weed as fast as she is, she's also a defending state champion in basketball. She knows how to move her body and get quickly. So if you can dump it off to her and let her try and make her way to the end zone, why not?
Lawrence North looking for a pretty decent 2025 sports campaign.
I would say.
And this clock continues to run, approaching the 6-minute mark. It was an 8-point ball game, but the Wildcats have shown their offensive prowess and now lead it by 22. 2-point conversion pending.
And Munster came out of halftime and
I
played
guess not.
well.
I'm sorry. The penalties nullified that. So Ramirez has to go to work. She fires long, open receiver, but can't complete it to Younger. Just a connection that hasn't worked out today.
I don't know if they've had one completion between Ramirez and Younger, but that has been their bread and butter throughout the season. So obviously the offense just struggling to find its footing, especially in the second half of this second half.
5 seniors for head coach Zach Slosser on this Mustangs team. So lots of players coming back. Ramirez fires deep, and that ball can't be completed to Jaslyn Sanchez.
And again, the pressure comes quick to Ramirez. She just has to get rid of it. Throws it downfield, and actually pretty on-spot ball. Just, again, those jump balls are not going Munster's ways today. It's not an awful throw. I mean, Sanchez gets some hands on it. It's just great coverage by Lawrence North.
Paris Page able to get a hand in there before Sanchez could bring it in. And it's third down. 4:30 left on the clock. Ramirez, here comes the blitz, fires over the middle, has a receiver. Can she make it? Just in front of the goal line. There is a penalty on the play.
How about the recovery there by Gaines? She put on the boosters and said, don't get across that end line. She came from across the field, and she'll probably get the penalty there on the foul. Yep, looks like personal foul there. But what a throw here. Ramirez able to find her, and finally Bella Jarrett with a big play. But here comes Gaines. Just the speed.
That's been the connection that has been most effective for the Mustangs today, is Ramirez to Bella Jarrett. And that's a tandem that'll come back next year to do this. Ramirez, a junior, and Jarrett, a sophomore.
And Jarrett with that speed, they like to use her on the edge, touchdowns, touches around the edge, as well as, some checkdowns, just because of her speed.
The winner of this one is going to face New Prairie as they're up 24 with 1:11 left in the second half. Game number 1, we saw the Panthers of Snyder beat the Harrison Raiders. And on the other side of the complex, it was Penn beating Terre Haute South. And that game will be at 4 o'clock here on the ISC Sports Network. And then in combination with the winner of this one and the winner of that New Prairie Warren Central game, also at 4. False start on the Mustangs. It's been one heck of a morning here at the Girls Flag Championships.
Been an exciting one.
Ramirez back of the end zone. Ball juggled. And I believe the penalty will be against Lawrence North. So a touchdown, finally. Ramirez to Younger, they made it work.
Yeah, finally able to find Younger there. Ramirez puts the ball in a decent spot here. Younger with the bobble, but just able to bring it in. Gets across without a flagpole and through the contact.
That cuts it to a 2-score lead.
Well, I mean, in this field position, with the game we've seen, a pick 6 by Munster is not out of the question.
Not at all.
Neither is Lawrence North, throwing it 40 yards and going to the house.
That's true. Here's Ramirez. Here comes the blitz. Back of the end zone.
Ooh.
And complete. Not out of it yet. The lead is 14. Wildcats hold that advantage 40-26 over the Mustangs of Munster. 2 more minutes of football coming up on the ISC Sports Network.
He's got one man to beat. He may go 10-5, touchdown. What we say? This out. Rainbow down the right side lane. Underneath that is Alec Pierce. Touchdown. That pass is intercepted by Kenny Moore. Josh Downs, touchdown, I-N-D-Y.
Caitlin, I'm here to show you all the best places in Indy, like the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital ER.
Great place to go for a fever, am I right?
Or a common cold. Get it? Like a common cold? Tough crowd.
Can I have an autograph?
Of course.
Caitlin, it kind of seems like you already know your way around.
A little, but my name's not in the hospital yet.
Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, a new and expanded ER to serve more of Indiana's kids.
Colt, like cold, that's the joke, right?
The Colts Youth and High School Football Grants is an opportunity for all flag and tackle programs throughout Indiana. Teams and programs can request up to $2,500 for equipment upgrades, facility updates, and other administrative costs. Applications will open in March, so tune in to colts.com/football grants and learn more. 40-26, the Lawrence North Wildcats hold a 14-point advantage over the Munster Mustangs in this quarterfinal matchup, looking for a date with New Prairie at 4 o'clock. Evan Beard has had herself a morning. Number 7, the quarterback for Lawrence North, and also star safety on the defensive side.
Not to mention, also a freshman.
That's true.
She has
Sims, 3 more years of young number 7.
She's just played with the composure of a senior this afternoon.
And she wants to go deep again. Jump ball and complete. Not done yet. is Heaven Beard. Big completion to Abrielle Alexander.
It's a great throw here. Beard knows exactly where she's going to be, and it's a good catch there as well by Alexander. She just brings it in with the bobble.
Great concentration for number 12. Keep that in the mitts. And a minute 40. Here's Beard going for it all. And out of nowhere, that ball intended for Jocelyn Ample fell in the hands of Jada Wheat. 6 more points for the Wildcats. My goodness.
Yeah, and Beard is having a day, but so is Jada Wheat. Look at that. You're right. Absolutely. It was supposed to go to Jocelyn Ample, and Jada Wheat doing a nice job of just sliding in underneath it. Fooled the defenders as well.
It has been a day for Heaven Beard. Now looking for 2. And she got it. That one to Kamari Evans. And it's 48-26, Lawrence North.
And I got to say, I mean, I think the Lawrence North receivers have done an excellent job of making those catches in traffic. Really focusing. We've seen limited drop passes from them, and Beard is putting the ball exactly where it needs to be. Obviously, a few missed throws here and there, but she's making it easy on the wide receivers.
Valiant effort by the Mustangs, and still giving chase. That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah.
No attempt on the flag whatsoever. Just grabbed the back of Jaslyn Sanchez.
It's a nice throw. She's got her beat. Yeah, she brings her down by the body, by the shorts, not the flag there.
Paris Page way aggressive on that takedown. The Mustangs not out of fight yet. Down 22 points. Want to give them a lot of credit. Had a heck of a year, going 9-1-1 on the season. 3 shutouts. They are exactly at their average for points scored. Defense faltered a little bit, but it's the Lawrence North high-octane Wildcats that really came through. Here's a blitz. Ramirez to the far corner. Sanchez couldn't find it. That'll stop the clock with 1:06 left.
And you mentioned it, credit to Munster. They have had an impressive run. You know, we've mentioned it a couple times, just those combinations that they're used to relying on, not able to come to fruition today against this Lawrence North defense, and they've struggled to kind of find their rhythm offensively.
Pressure. Ramirez into the end zone, and that ball is caught. Under a minute left, and Mustangs put 6 more on the board. Cassidy White gets her first grab, and it's 48-32.
Yeah, and that's the senior, Cassidy White, doing a nice job. Just runs this post route all the way through. Sneaks through the hands. Another needle threaded for you. It's nice to see the senior get a touchdown.
Mustangs just got too far behind, but have not given up at all, even in the final 2 minutes. Blitz, Ramirez outside, and that's complete. 2 more for the Mustangs, Jaslyn Sanchez.
And, you know, Munster showing they can score quickly there. Again, Ramirez doing a nice job. She's just putting those balls, great spot here. Been trying to find Sanchez. Finally finds her in the corner there. Nice ball elevated over the defender.
82 total points put up in this one.
And strangely, we've seen some decent defense as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
It's been
you wouldn't look, it wouldn't seem it, but there have been some fantastic defensive plays. One of those resulting in a pick 6 for quarterback Heaven Beard. And around. Still going. No flag grab yet. Still on her feet. And finally, and it's going to be a shirt pull on the penalty. stops the clock with 31 seconds left.
And Lawrence North obviously just going to look for those handoffs the rest of the way here. Not trying to risk anything with the throw in the air, even though Heaven Beard has had herself quite a day, and I'm sure would love one more touchdown.
.31 seconds left. Wildcats with the football, up 14. Beard takes a knee. And that should do it. Nope, they'll be able to get it back one more time. Will they? 5 seconds, and I think this one's going to blow out. It will. The Wildcats of Lawrence North have a date with New Prairie at 4 o'clock right here on the IC Sports Network. And in the other game, it'll be Snyder and Penn, another good one, also at 4 o'clock. Partner, it's been an absolute blast. Our first time doing girls flag football, but now we know why it is so exciting and why this sport is the fastest growing sport in the world.
I mean, really, it's kind of the best of traditional football, all packed into 48 minutes, I guess, if you will. Excellent, it's quick offense, it's defenses flying around, running backs making amazing moves. The game is quick, the game is fun, and the game is competitive, John.
They call it an emerging sport. Guaranteed it will be a permanent sport. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Kristen Hazley, and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, I'm John Natali. Be sure to join us back at 4 p.m. Snyder and Penn, Lawrence North and New Prairie, our final in Game 2. The Lawrence North Wildcats 48-34 over the Munster Mustangs. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Before the game, stop by American Family Insurance Touchdown Town, a free pregame and entertainment area for fans of all ages. Located on the north end of Lucas Oil Stadium along South Street, American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.